getting into the nitty gritty, and it's like, how can I stop now? I think we have a really cohesive city council right now. I can tell you that I have the full support of all 4 council members. It's an honor for me to do this, and I can guarantee you it's not for the money. I actually donate it all. I just feel like, well, let me backtrack here. I moved to Simi Valley in 1994. I immediately got involved. I started with the Boys and Girls Club and served on the board there for 20 years. I loved being involved, but never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine running for office. But after being asked repeatedly over the course of about 6 years, I finally decided that it was something I was ready to do. And it's been really fulfilling. I really enjoy the challenge. I have a strong financial background. I've been in business for myself my entire adult life. I run 2 businesses right now, but I'll tell you what, government finance is a whole new, it's like if business finance was English, this was some third world language that I've never heard of. But I think we do a good job. I can tell you that the city is in good shape. I think there's a lot of unknowns in the future, like we had in COVID. We actually were very conservative during COVID because we didn't know whether we were gonna, make more or less. It turned out to be actually financially viable for us because of all the online shopping. And what did we do with that surplus? We reinvested it in the city. We reinvested it in our roads. If you haven't noticed, we've been doing more resurfacing than we have in the last 2 decades. We've been paying down our pension liability, and we've been reinvesting into our reserve fund. And I'm happy to say that our reserve fund is at an all-time high right now. Just had a conversation yesterday with our new city manager about the fact that, we have a presidential election, and who knows where it's going. I know and I hope, but who knows where it's going. And the potential fallout of that could be, who knows? I said, until we know where we're at, let's not make any, big decisions on expenditures. We need to be conservative, and that's something I feel really strong about. Of all the things that I believe, and it is a nonpartisan race. Very little of what we do has anything to do with a lot of the topics that we've talked about tonight. We have no control over the school board, but what we do is the control over the money. And I've always felt that every person in elected office needs to be very careful about how they spend money, because I've often felt that, in too many cases, they treated it like monopoly money, and it shouldn't be that way. And I think that we're good about making sure that drilling down in each and every budget, making sure that we're spending our money correctly. There's always a vote that some people don't like, and it's hard because I believe that when it's all said and done, whatever my own personal views are, that in some cases I have to think about what's best for the community as a whole. And I believe that that's my job. And so that's what I will do. How about that? Thank God my time has expired. But I would love to answer questions. That's what I prefer to do. Yes.
So what do you think is the most, if you could, as far as like your vision for,
Did everyone silence their phones?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but your vision for Simi Valley, are there some goals or some things that you'd like to see happen in this next term?
Well, one of those was new ownership of the town center. With a new owner that I had confidence was really going to do something good. And I'm happy to say that that deal got inked yesterday. Breaking news.
So what is the something good?
Huh?
What's gonna happen?
Well, these guys really understand what's happening in America right now with malls, although it's a town center, it's not a mall. And I keep telling them that this is a place for the community to gather. But they're viewing it as the following: retail, dining, and entertainment. Okay? And I think they're going to have lots of areas where people can gather and hang. I think it's going to be a good thing. I think the direction they're going, we haven't seen any final plans. I mean, we've only seen preliminary stuff, but of the 5 or 6 people that have, bid so far, these were the guys that I was rooting for, and I think it's going to be good. Still don't have all the final details, but I quite a bit, but I can't talk about any of it, so sorry. Redevelopment. I know everybody wants to keep Simi the way it is. You can't do that. We have shopping center, around town that are decaying. There's nothing positive about that. I understand it offers a place with cheap rent for those that can't afford higher rent, but at some point in time, something has to happen. If you're standing still, you're slowly dying. So, and there's always going to be a debate. We've talked before about how the complex at Capo and Alamo, was a very unpopular thing. What bothered me about it is the fact that, we tried to work with the developer to get him to meet us halfway, to do some things to make it a better product for our city. And they were unwilling to move an inch. And so when we turned them down 3 times, they went to the state of California and sued us. My solution to that is get involved early. Meet the developer, work with them, and let them know that we will work with them as long as they're willing to work with us. And so far, I think it's worked really good. I mean, nothing's ever perfect. No one's going to love everything that happens. But, we've been very careful about what we put where and the type of project. And, I will never approve anything that's built right up to the sidewalk.
What are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, I know. I gotta admit, I don't hate it as much. What I hated was their attitude.
I know.
And I'll never forget that. Yes.
What are you hoping to accomplish in this next term if you get reelected?
Well, okay. There's always things that need repairs. Sidewalks, potholes. We've got a lot of challenges like that. And I'm constantly being told, why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? There's so much of it. And it's hard to get all of that done. But my opinion on that is if we have more than we can currently do with our current staff and finance, then let's find a solution. Let's at least discuss it. I think we have amazing, highly qualified staff here in the city. They do a great job, but despite that, I am constantly going to them and saying, how can we do it better? How can we do it cheaper? How can we do it faster? So, I guess we're out of time, yes.
I love that our council is very, conservative and like-minded, but what do you say to people that would say, well, they're too much like-minded? There's not enough controversy.
I can tell you that we've had quite a few 3-2 votes, but it was civil, constructive, and, as long as I was one of the 3, we did it right. No. Yes.
I moved over here 3 years ago from LA because it got so out of control with the homeless and the violence, and I don't have to tell you, you know what's going on in LA. I was told we don't have many homeless, but I think they're behind, like the dump area or whatever. And I'm starting to see certain things. My question to you is, we're a safe city, but I'm concerned, like what you just said, we don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm concerned about certain things coming up from the border and coming into the town. And how, are we encouraging homeless to live here, or do we have something that's going to, maintain the safety and the quality of Simi Valley?
Unlike other cities, especially in that direction, we make, what are we gonna do to protect the city from potential problems with homeless? Unlike other cities, we make regular contact with each and every one of them. We have 2 full-time officers and 1 county psychologist or counselor that actually go out and meet with them, talk to them, see where they're at. Are they in a position where they want some help? And if not, make sure that they're at least being, considerate. If they are a repeated problem, we do something about it. But in most cases, we just, we contact them on a regular basis to make sure we're in control of what's going on there. I think we're doing a pretty good job. There's always room for improvement.
Do you think we're safe when the election takes place? Do you think that Simi Valley is ready for anything that could be, because I know when October 6th happened, was it 6 or 7? 7, there was some shady stuff that I saw that was a little scary.
We are probably the most prepared city in Ventura County. Yes.
Kind of along the same lines. So recently, there has been a spike in graffiti, gangs, park attacks, stabbings, shootings. So what is your plan to keep us safe? To keep that element out.
Okay, let's talk about each one of those. Graffiti. We repeatedly have this conversation, the fact that any graffiti that's reported, we want it gone in 24 hours.
You guys are good about that.
Yeah, okay. Gangs, good one, okay. Let me tell you, we do way more about the gangs than anyone's aware of. We have identified everybody that is a gang member, and anytime we see them in public, it's very, very common for our officers to pull them over and just do a quick check that they're not armed and that they're not up to anything no good. If that doesn't happen, we make regular visits to their home and go in and actually, go through their personal belongings, because we have the right to do that. So, we do take that very seriously, but that's not something we want to promote in public. Well, we don't want them to know what we're doing. Okay.
No, it's just good for the people to know that you guys have our back that way, because I didn't have help in Woodland Hills. It was horrible.
I had a business in Chatsworth. There was numerous occasions where I had to call the police. I would say the fastest they ever got there was about 25 minutes. I can tell you that if you call here, you'll have someone there in 2 minutes. There's a big difference. Yes.
Yeah, Fred, I just wanted to, with all the smash and grabs that's happened in the city and the cameras that we have put up, I want to say what a great job that's been to our city, catching these people before they can get out of town.
Well, and in some cases they do get out of town, but we've identified them, we've tracked them down, we've put trackers on their vehicles, we catch them the next time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many people that we've arrested from LA that have come here, smash and grab and burglaries. I mean, there's reports in the Acorn about it, but not a whole lot. But, our goal is to make sure that every bad guy out there knows, don't go to Simi. And even better than that, because we're in Ventura County, when we catch them here, they actually get prosecuted. Peter.
Getting back to the homeless, I think we're in kind of like a catch-22, because people are afraid that, the homeless from LA are coming over the hill into Simi Valley and such. I've talked to quite a few of them actually and asked them, asked them quite a few things, but a lot of them have told me the word is out that Simi Valley takes really good care of their homeless people. So that's why they're coming there, because, years ago, we gave them bikes, and we've got the PAD program, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that amongst their community, Simi Valley is like a really good place to be homeless.
Well, I can tell you that the homeless population is not growing in Simi, so it's not happening. And I think that, the ones that we have to be concerned about don't like to be visited on a regular basis. That is a deterrent. Yes.
One of the things about Simi is they seem to keep building and building and building apartments and condos, and there are different ones that I've driven by at night many times, and there's no lights on in them. And I would like to see some statistics done of how many are rented and how many are vacant before they start building again, because an apartment or condo that's not sold or rented is a tax write-off. It's not tax income, it's a write-off.
It is a loss.
Well, I don't know the answer to that. All I know is we have RENA numbers we have to meet. We have to at least identify and allow development for about 2,700 units by the end of our cutoff, which is just a couple of years away. We're going to get there, but in my opinion, I'm all about home ownership and not the revolving rent. And so if it was up to me and what to build, it would be starter homes, young starter entry homes at a reasonable price to allow someone to move in there, when they're fresh out of college or just getting married, and build up some equity so that they could end up with a home to raise their family in. That's what I'd like to see. Okay. I think I'm out of time now, but thank you guys.